but I want to start with something light, so I have no idea how you started volleyball.
Oh, I come from a really small town in Norway, and I have three brothers, and they played, so then I just did what they did, pretty much. That's it. I think I was raised in because I have three brothers, I wanted to be a boy when I was really young, so
Yeah.
I think, I was really easily caught up in that. Like, we were playing in our garden all the time, and all the time when we went on trips with my family, I have a very outdoor family. We would always bring a ball, so I think that's where it started. And in Norway, volleyball is quite small, so if you at least compared to football and handball, and if you're good, you pretty quickly get picked up on, and that happened with me. And then at that age, or not, I'm still, but I was so motivated, so it was very clear from the first or second year. I think I got picked on the national junior team for indoor, and from there on, it was just like, yeah, I'm gonna be a professional. This mindset was really clear from the start. But I started pretty, like, not late, but I started when I was 14 or 15.
So you started right from beach?
Grade. I started right away with indoor.
Okay.
But in Norway, it's like you play indoor in the winter season, and then in the summer you play beach. So both, but like mainly indoor the majority of the time.
When did you like finish indoor?
When I started college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was when I made the decision, because I wanted to go to the States and have a scholarship. And then it was really like, okay, where are my best shot at getting at the highest level? And I'm not that big, or tall, so I figured that either I would have to go for like a libero position to be in the highest league, or I will go for beach, where I'm more dependent on my own skills. And then that's where I kind of decided that I would go for beach. And also, it was very clear to me that even in Norway, it's such a small country, and we don't have a good indoor program. And I always had this goal and inner strive for the Olympics. So am I going to make it with indoor, where I depend on a whole nother financial situation and 12 other girls doing the work every day for many years? We don't have that. And in beach, I just need one partner, So yeah, it was from then on, it was pretty clear to me that I just wanted to go for beach.
So is the Olympics your goal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the end goal, or I guess the most motivating factor of what I do.
And what would be the goal if it wouldn't be for the medal? Like,
I think that's a good question, and that I need to constantly process, because I always thought it was about the medal, and then the few times I got a medal, I didn't feel anything in particular. I kind of felt maybe the other way around, that I felt like not depressed, but just like really getting in the dump and feeling really lonely, and feeling really disappointed that it wasn't the big fantastic moment that now everything's solved. It's really nice in the moment, but the days after, it's quite hard. And after I realized that, I focused more on the joy. And I don't know what's a good goal in the present, but I think I am very grateful for my team and the environment in my team. That's been like a really important journey for me, and I'm really excited about going to practice. Like, I'm really looking forward to it, and I think that's a good space to be in general. I don't know if it's a goal, but it's a good space that makes the end goal much more likely, because you won't be sick of each other in the same sense as if you're not enjoying the process and only looking for the end goal.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I think I wanted to add like two things,
Yeah.
just from my side.
Yeah.
I think I used to play not for a medal, but for my family's approval,
Oh wow.
because it felt like if I lose,
Yeah.
I'm a bad daughter.
Oh wow, that's brutal.
Yeah. So I think what also changed, like so many things changed, but I asked my family to remind me that they will love me even if I lose.
Yeah.
And
did they?
every time they do. Like we have a call and they're like, you know, if you lose, we will still love you. It's like, it makes me want to tear up, because it is that deep. Like I know that they will say it each time, but it is that important. And I also think my goal,
when you win, do you feel like you win for your family as well, or
maybe for the Yeva before, you know, maybe for her.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think wins feel what I thought they will. I think they just make me fall in love with the sport even more.
Yeah.
And not even to try and reach something more. It's just like, I'm like, wow, this is how it feels. And I want to repeat that feeling. And it's, yeah, like even now we're so nervous to play this qualification, and we don't know how it will end.
Yeah.
But if it ends well, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
This is what we came for. So
that's nice.
Yeah.
That's a good mindset to have, I think.
Yeah. And for the goal, I think it is to enjoy the sport and something, but I also always had this feeling that I want to add something to the sport or community or something. I think like Karambula had his serve and his like free spirit in the game, and Swedish guys added the jump set. And I always wanted to do something like that, but I had no idea what it is. My mom has an idea about what it should be, but I will not tell it on camera, because if I do it, you know, I want to be the first. But at the same time, I thought this might be something, you know, like maybe introduce more players to the crowd, or even players to players. Because everyone I interview is like, even Calvin said yesterday, he was like, oh, I'm intrigued to see all the others now. So
yeah, that's nice. I think it's a really nice thought of contributing and also opening up a little bit so that people understand more of what it's like. Because I think in a sense beach volleyball is very special because we are so dependent on each other. Like we train every day together, like although we're opponents, we still have to help each other a lot. And at the same time, I think a lot of teams think that they're doing so well, they got everything figured out, but then deep down everyone has their struggles. And it's very relatable. But yeah, I think it's a good contribution. But I'm really excited for the mom.
I mean, I'm trying it out sometimes, but it's not consistent, and she wants it to be consistent.
So get there. If you get success with one or few, then it'll come. You have time.
Was there a match last season that made you find out something about yourself, something new?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is the elite tournament in South Africa, which was kind of our big breakthrough, where I felt that, I don't know, like the game against Camela and Victoria was very special because they were the number one seed, and we didn't we didn't know where we were at, and I think it was a really good experience. We lost 2-1 in a tiebreak, but it was a really good match, and I think it was a really important match for us to understand the level we have when we're able to be that focused. And it was kind of like a boost and a confirmation that we're on the right path, or actually a bit ahead of the path that we were like routing for. So I think that was special, but I don't know specifically. I think but I already know this, that I usually play very well when I'm sick because then I have so little energy and I make all the right choices. I don't do any of the extra, like, I'm not like overly ready, so I'm calm and I can always reach the defense for some reason. So yeah, I think that was also special with Cape Town because I was sick for the qualification match and I felt terrible, but we played really well. So I think maybe that's a good one. Maybe not for me specifically, but for our team. That when I'm not feeling well, Nina plays really, really well. And I think the times that I was sick and we still played, she took that role and we play really great. And I think it's kind of proof that you shouldn't put each other in boxes like, yeah, she's new, she's played less than a year and I played for a really long time. So it's like really easy to put people in those boxes, but when you allow something to blossom, then it can unfold the craziest thing. Like she was hitting on the second ball and like it was so cool to see how in charge she was able to be at this early stage of her career. And I think it was an eye-opener for the team as well, that we don't need one person to be the stable and the know-it-all person. Like I think we both need ownership, and if we can both be there, then it's the best dynamic for us instead of the newbie and the old person kind of thing.
I think I take on the leader role, and every time Erika says, "Oh, bossy, Eva is awake," like I think she's a silent leader. Yeah. She's like allowing me to be bossy, and I'm like, do this. Is
it a good dynamic?
I think it is. I hope it is for her as well.
I think it can be.
Yeah, I mean it's nice for me, but I'm not always chatty that way. And even today, like we were practicing and I said, let's talk, like let's just talk bullshit, whatever, like, oh, the weather's nice, just like be loud in the court. And she told me like, yeah, like I felt like you were so silent and I felt like you're angry. And I was like, I felt the same about you. You know, it's like we just need to talk and to be loud, not necessarily scream, but
I like that mentality. I think it's very easy to get in when it gets silent, that it's you're getting in your own head and assuming what the other person, that they're angry or frustrated, and maybe they're not. They're like you. Yeah, it's very important to keep the communication ongoing, but it's difficult.
I think it's also mainly for girls. I'm not sure that the guys would
think
have a problem.
I agree and I disagree. I think there's a lower threshold or higher threshold, lower threshold for girls to get to feel like there's something up, while the boys maybe don't care that much. Like, oh, he's just messing around, or I don't like they're saying that. But I also think I see a lot of but they say that they don't care, but they do. A lot of them do, and I think even if they don't care, I think they would be so much better if they cared and actually was trying to fix it and addressing the problem and being honest with each other. Because I think the boys are tough and but are they able to sit down and say, hey, I think that's uncomfortable when you do that?
Yeah, that's really tough.
Yeah, it's really tough, but I think it's important. And I think for me, Anders and Christian is like the main perfect example. I mean, they're amazing athletes, but I have so much respect for how they, on bad days, they never give each other the bad look or like, oh, why didn't you do that? Like, it's not present. even regardless of how shit they play, regardless if they don't take a free ball, like they're always genuinely respectful of each other. And to me, I think that's really impressive and really important. And it's so quickly to get like naggy, and like even if you don't say anything, just like the feeling of like, you should have taken it. Oh, what are you doing? Block. I think it steals a few points more than it gives, at least.
How do you think they manage to keep this mindset?
I think they. I don't think they actively think about doing it. I think it's the nature of their dynamic. So I think it's a bit easier for them than for someone who's not naturally that way. I think that's the number one. But for me, it's also just a little bit of logic. When did it help to roll your eyes if your partner did something bad?
Are you able always to keep this?
Maybe not always, and I don't think the goal should be to be perfect. Like it should be realistic, but I think we're humans, we make mistakes, but we also have the ability to self-reflect and apologize. And I think that's more important. Like, sometimes we fuck up and sometimes we're not the best person or the best partner or the best coach, and I think that's also a part of progressing, is that sometimes there's gonna be some conflicts and you'll learn from it, but I think it's important to not always have yourself at your own interests first. I think you should have the other way around.
Yeah.
And then you will progress. And yeah, I think it's very normal.
Yeah, I think it's also okay to admit that you feel this way.
Yeah.
And it helps me to name the emotion, and I'm like, okay, I'm, let's say, angry at my partner, right? Yeah. And if I name it in my head, I'm like, okay, why? Why are you this way? And just analyzing feeling by feeling, it helps.
Yeah. Are you able to find a solution? Or do you just feed the anger?
I guess I am, but I'm not sure if it's the like finished solution. Like if it's the finished idea, that's how I should think. I talked to a few people already about this, but basically I take on too much work and I just get overwhelmed and I get angry at people when they don't do it for me the same that I do for them.
Get the same back.
Yeah, and I think it's my own issue that I take this on. And I was learning about the fact that I need to either allow other people to do it slower, worse than me, or somehow, and allow them to learn, or do it out of love because I chose to do it, right? So, but so far, just having these thoughts they're not helping me. Like I'm trying to analyze them, I understand them logically, but I'm not feeling them, and it really helps me to talk.
Yeah.
As I said, in the court, I just talk random stuff, and then I don't have time to think.
Yeah.
Like I'm just, okay, nice set, could be 2 centimeters there, and it's just random chatting, but
yeah. That's I think it's a good mechanism, or better than being silent and inverted.
Yeah,
definitely.
Is there character you get into or want to be in the court?
I think I have many characters.
Or, for example, values that you want to present as a player?
Values is probably, I think character, it comes, sometimes the calm Sunniva comes forward, sometimes the crazy one comes forward, sometimes the angry one comes forward. Like I have different sides, but I think in general I am more composed than I used to be. When I was younger, I was a madhead. Like I would have to go for a walk in the forest for 3 hours after I lost the game. Like I was so angry, and I think it's still a part of me that I really like to impress. That's one of the best feelings, I genuinely think. It's uh,
Like a show person?
narcissistic to say, but it's honestly, I love it when I can dig an incredible ball and get the point. But I think that's one of the biggest joys of playing, is that you get to show the amazing things we can do that not that many people can do, at least not at that level. But my values are very strong. I'm very obsessed with the idea of treating each other respectfully, and especially within your team. I think that's I think how you treat people is how you put a mark on someone when you meet someone, and I think it comes down to like my worldview, like the way I think we should be in life. I think the world would be, or could be a much better place, but it's a much better place when people think of how can I be kind and offer you something. And I try to think that when I meet someone, or if I made someone's day a little bit better by just being nice and genuine. And I'm not saying I'm like that in every situation, but I think I'm really obsessed with that, and it's really important for me that that's how we go in our team, and I don't want bullshit to go. I want to address it. I want to have it like that.
I think I also wanted to say respect, because it is very important.
Yeah.
And also like fairness for me.
Yeah.
I don't like to be judged or said that I did something when I didn't. So for example, if a ref calls touch, for me, like we had in Itapema, our last game against Brazilian team, we had a very important point, and the ball passed like a meter from the hands of Erika, and they called block touch, and it was a very, very important point. And it gets me very angry. Like, I am very much about fairness. That's what my dad always taught me. Like, you can get angry at someone if they judge you unfairly, not necessarily in the court, but anywhere. But if they do it correctly, you can't get angry, because you can't deal with criticism. That's your
two
problem.
different things. I think I agree with that statement, and I'm maybe not so. I think I agree. I think it also creates a fire in me when things are not fair, and I think I can be really difficult if you mess it up and you don't treat people well, or even just basic situations. I think it's like a light bulb that just starts, and then I'm not letting it go. Like, I think also for coaches, I thought a lot about this after we got Espen as a coach, and I don't. My point is not that the previous coaches that I had, that they were bad or not perfect, or like, we all have good and bad sides, and that's not my point. But I think in general, as a coach, actually it was Kalmbula who said it during just a random evening snack time, and he was saying that in his position, that he was able to change a life as a coach, either for the better or for the worse, and he was so aware of his power in that sense. And to me, I thought that was very very correct. And I think when you're a coach, like, I would just what is it called? I would just promote that thought, because I think he's so right about it. Like, how you can actually be the reason why someone takes a step in their career and enters a whole nother division, or you can also be the reason why someone quits and drops their confidence or um, their love for the sport, or it's a huge responsibility. And I think when you're in a position of power, we all are in different ways. We are as athletes, and kids look up to us, so how we present ourselves, I think it's important. But also the coaches, they influence the players, and they can shape someone in a good direction, but they can also very well shape someone in a really bad direction. And I think it's a responsibility they should take very seriously. And I'm really like stunned by how our coach does that with us. I never like his belief in us has been unconditional love, almost. Like I think that's also how we progressed so quickly, and I'm so thankful, but also it's been so eye-opening, like how you can create magic if you work like that, if you really bring a player into something and like, this, you are our main project, we want you to succeed, like what are we going to do, like he's so interested in it. It's not like, oh, you need to prove to me that you're good. I hate that attitude. So yeah,
I love that
yeah,
for you.
I'm so happy with him. He's amazing.
I mean, I also think my coach is unconditionally in love with me,
your father,
and my project.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think we struggle still with how losses feel. Like we feel like, I don't know, it's over. Like the dream is over. Like it was, I don't know, going so well, and yes, we're going to Olympics and everything, and we lose, and it's like, no Olympics ever.
Yeah.
And it feels so devastating.
Black or white.
Yeah, black or white. But I think he also struggles with that as a previous player. You know, I think he struggles with that feeling, and he gives it to me. But I think it also makes me stronger, because I have to fight not only against my bad thoughts, but also against his.
Yeah.
Have
you addressed it with him?
I try to address many things. So this one is still in the works. But I think it changed a lot over the years. I think the first year we came to Tenerife to practice and stay the whole winter. Mol and everyone else from Norway came, but especially Mol, that he works with his father. Or not anymore, I'm not sure, but he worked then.
Role now,
so it looked so smooth and so positive and so, I don't know, nice from a side. I'm not sure how it is, but I always was jealous about it, because I was like, I'm not sure how it works to be with the family in this business. But for me, it came with talking, you know, with being honest, and also being respectful of how you say things, because I am pretty similar to him. He can say something very calmly with a lot of pauses and breaks, but so powerful that it will wound you forever. And I'm the same way. And for us to talk to each other like respectfully, it requires a lot of energy not to say something very mean. So
and also with family, you show your worst sides and your best side. It's like the ones you love, that's where the shit comes, and also where the best comes. But I think it's challenging. I'm very impressed. I have a lot of respect for those who manage to maintain their family relationships as well as a working relationship. I think it's must be incredibly difficult, and I have a lot of respect for that. As well as I also think it can be very difficult to be the outsider in that, like the partner who's not in the family. I think that's also like it's a very common theme. Like we always talk a lot about like what it's, or at least in Norway now they have a show about like the family parents who got their kids up, and sometimes I'm thinking maybe they should do a show of like what it is like to be the third wheel.
So what is it like for you?
I think when I played with Emilia and Jostein was coaching us, I think they were very cautious of it, and I also have a lot of respect for that. I think they were always thinking about including me, and I never felt left out in that regards, and I never felt like it was about Emilia and not about me or us. So I think they are a good example, and maybe less less common example of someone who handles that better than others. Like, I think they were always aware of me and trying to take care of me and include me. Like, I didn't feel this kind of like second person who's not part of the core. I think they were really nice about it, and that's really hard to do also. And I think for them ultimately also, I don't want to speak on their behalf, but I think they also, we didn't continue with having Jostein as a coach because they wanted to maintain a good father and daughter relationship, and I have a lot of respect for that as well. I think that's that's a tough decision, but it's also right for them, and they have the right to make that decision. And I also think that deep down, family is way more important than like career or I think that's really that's probably why it's difficult to combine it, but it also is also in many cases a factor of how people manage to be the best of the best, because they go so deep, they know each other so well, so it's maybe a different dynamic than being overfladisk, like on the top, not going into the real feelings of it. So your father probably knows how to guide you in a much more specific way than someone who doesn't know you that well.
And also, I think not like addition to the sport, but addition to just general life, I think not a lot of people can spend so much time with their family.
Yeah.
Because we spend the whole day together, and to get along in that day, we go through a lot of emotions, but at the same time, we spend so much nice and quality time together.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful, because I feel like, not a lot of people get along with their families so well.
Yeah.
So it's a plus and a minus.
It is, but do you, when you're with your family, is it all volleyball talk, or is it not really?
We don't have rules about it, but I try to be open with my own emotions and with myself, and then if I feel like I don't want to talk about it, I'm like, please, let's not talk about it anymore, or we just switch the topic. Or also, I live like 5 meters away from them, so it's like I'm like, okay, really bye, dinner time.
That makes sense.
But it's nice. I enjoy it, and I miss them every time.
Oh, that's nice. That's lovely.
Is there something that you think people watching you on court wouldn't notice about you that is so different from what you present?
Wow, that's really interesting. Maybe it sounds, no, I don't know what they wouldn't notice. Maybe not that self-aware. Like I'm pretty okay with who I am, I think. I don't know if people think that I'm not, but that's a really difficult question. I think it would be easier for me to have an answer if I really cared a lot about people's opinion.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good answer as well.
But I think maybe an honest truth is that if you have a problem with me, I'm difficult, and if you don't, then I'm really nice. It sounds really strange, but like if you have a problem with me about my values, I'm not gonna let it slip. Like you're gonna hear it, and we've had it in different, in different parts of life, even private. Just like I think it's I'm not willing to compromise my values. So yeah,
I think that's very powerful. I mean, I don't think it's cowardly of me, but I think I run away. Like I'm a person that will just eliminate myself from those people, those situations, and I will just not talk to you ever. Which I don't think is like powerful enough. It's good for me, for my mental health, but it's not solving the issue. I think it's so nice to have these people like you that if you have an issue with someone's morals or values, you will teach them in a way,
Yeah, I think I try, but in the same sense, like it's very draining to be in conflict with someone or something or an organization, or even just now with India, how we all lost the chance to play, and they're thus far not giving us a response of how to be compensated. And for me, that's like not okay. Yeah, it's really unprofessional, and they need to fix it.
Yeah.
So that's I think it's sometimes you have to let it go. You can't win every fight. You can't turn every person. But I think, you need to choose your fights. And maybe some fights I shouldn't have taken. Maybe some fights, maybe I took them for someone else, and it was maybe hard for me, but it was important in the long run. I don't know. I really don't know. But I think in general, I'm very worried in today's world, and I also study. I take a master's in international crisis handling, so I'm pretty into it, and I'm really worried about the course of the world. And I think in that sense, I'm very convinced that it's important to stand up for what's right. And I mean, like, the conflicts that I'm dealing with are not that major. Like, I still have a safe home, a loving family, a boyfriend, and good friends, and food on the table. But we see so many examples of like people doubting whether it's correct or not to bomb 20,000 children in Palestine. That's not a good direction, and we need to be able to say it out loud without repercussions. Like I'm really trying to stand for it, because I feel like everyone's so quiet about it. And why are we quiet about that? It's messing with the whole purpose of life. I think it's a dangerous road we're going down, and people are both quiet and not like dealing with the truth. I can respect someone if we disagree on the truth, but if you're closing your eyes and saying no, it's they were soldiers. 1,000 infants are not soldiers. Like, these things to me are so deep and fundamentally, I feel it heavily. Yeah.
Do you think this is kind of like your main message as an athlete,
Yeah, I think main message, I think it goes back to the values that we need to treat each other well. And in some sense, I think it's important to take care of yourself and be good towards yourself. That way you can be good to others. But I also think that we are so blessed with our lives, and we should still fight for things that are fair with the new tour, with the prize money, with the accommodation. Like, we should fight for what is fair, for sure, but we should also be aware and fight for those who can't fight. And that is important for me. Yeah, I think what is it called when people are, I don't want to say uneducated, but unaware of some basic injustices. And I think you should, to some degree, think about it. And it doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to change the world. But at least be, how can I make someone else's day a little bit better? How can I treat the cashier with a smile and not being mad because it's taking a long time? Like, these things matter. Yeah.
I think I wanted to say that I really admire how loud you are about your values. And I am, I think, a bit more shy about it, because I think all the opinions I have, I was taught to be very open about, like, how they might vary and everything. So I think I try to fight for my values more on, like, a personal level, to change life on a personal level instead of, like, talking about it loudly.
I don't think everyone has to be a public figure or statement.
But we need people like you.
Yeah, but we also need to not, or I would challenge you then, if it's really obvious, to speak up for those who can't. That's maybe an encouragement that I would, and it doesn't have to be, I also don't appreciate, like, I know we're getting off volleyball and like more into the world situation, but I think it's maybe, that I think, I think it's also, the point is not to polarize, because there's a lot of polarization now. I feel like just because I speak my mind of Gaza doesn't mean I hate Jews or that I oppose Israeli people. Not at all. But I think we need a little bit more nuance. Like, can't be that black and white, but I think you should still be able to differentiate that. With Iran, it's terrible, the regime they've been doing and how they've been killing thousands of protesters, but it's also terrible that you bomb them and bomb a school of 180 children. Like, these things matter. One bad action doesn't approve another one. And but let's go back into beach volleyball, I guess. Political.
I mean, how did you get so confident in your opinions? Or not necessarily opinions.
Yeah, back to the opinions. I have, I am confident in a moral compass. I was actually listening to a podcast yesterday that was really interesting. It was saying that you should trust your intuition a lot more. Your intuition is usually right. And how did I get confidence? That's a good question. I think there is a lot of knowledge in painful stories and experiences, and a lot to learn from it. And I think that we are very lucky to be where we're at. We're basically the winners of the
lottery.
Really, the lottery, exactly. And when you look into it, it's all just luck. It's not something I did. It's not something. I didn't do it. I didn't choose to be born in Norway or have a loving family or accepting coaches who made me feel good about myself. Like that was luck, and I think in the same sense there can be bad luck. You can not have that, and it wasn't your choice. It was someone else's choice, and we see throughout history how detrimental, how important some choices were, and those choices are very often a choice of value, and the value of life versus death, or love, forgiveness versus revenge, and you usually in the right choices that really made a huge difference for everyone was on the right side, and I think most people know it deep down. I don't think people want to revenge people. I think they need to accept and let go and forgive, because there's so much we need to forgive, like with all conflicts, and yeah, I don't know if that was an answer to the question, but I think we listen to your inner voice, and you will know whether it's right or wrong to beat someone down because they did something bad to you. Maybe you can address it, see what happens, but or maybe you can try to make them understand in a good way, in a better way than this revenge mindset. I feel like a lot of the conflicts internationally are on the wrong side. It's a lot of polarization. We need to unify, and we have so much to unify for. We're just too obsessed with the differences instead of the similarities.
I think at first I got lost where you went from confidence.
Yeah,
but at some point, I think I don't know if it was the right idea what you wanted to say, but my mind slipped to what you said about forgiveness. The fact that for me, getting confidence was also a lot about forgiveness, because I think I had a lot of insecurities with my family and my confidence and relationship with myself, and it was not only forgiveness for others, my family or friends, but also
for
to
yourself.
myself,
Yeah.
like how I used to punish myself. That required a lot of forgiveness.
Yeah,
and a lot of love.
Yeah,
I think.
I think that's definitely always the place to start, with yourself. Because if you can't forgive yourself, then yeah, I think that's really impressive and also very important to dare to look inside and see your own flaws and work with them.
I will kind of jump off the topic, but stay on the same lane with confidence.
Yeah.
So what was your, let's say, painful journey or struggles to go to reach to where you are?
I think when I was younger, I was struggling a lot with food and with my self-image. There's a difference between like confidence and is self-image and self-feeling. My selvbilde or selvfølelse. Yeah. So I think I was pretty confident in the sense that I knew that I was really good and I knew that I could get really good.
In volleyball sense?
Yeah, in volleyball. I never doubted that. I really thought I would, that I can be the best. Like I didn't have limitations, and I still don't. I really think it's all possible. I don't have these limited thoughts, but I had a really, really terrible self-image on my body, my training, my weight, my looks, and that was a really hard journey because I was so obsessed with the idea that if I was going to be the best, I needed a full six pack. I needed to squat 150 kilos. I needed to work harder than everyone else and bleed and sweat like for it. And I did that. I not that I squatted and had the six pack, but I did train way too much when I was that age. It was like from 15 till 18-ish. I was training terribly much. Like I was running when we had a lunch pause with the school. I went to the track to run to burn calories, and in the evening I would do extra sessions. It was like both extremely motivated, but also very counterintuitive. Like I think I was very lucky I didn't get injured. But I think that was my painful journey in understanding who I am, and also when I got to the point where I understood that it was unhealthy, that was also like a mark in because I got help for some time, but it took a little bit longer before the help, of course, arrived until I understood that I needed it and not that it was just pushed upon me. So I think that was, I would say that's maybe the biggest misunderstanding that I think is out there, is, at least in my experience, is that more is better, and this blood, sweat, tear thing, I don't think it's true. Like, I really don't. I think in some sense, yeah, you should push, and you need to be like, you need to be stricter than the general, but I think that also comes down to enjoying it when you do it and accepting where you're at, and that's how you can grow. Because I learned this one thing. It was a psychologist who talked about, if you make bad associations with something you do, you're not growing. If you make positive associations with what you do, then you can grow in a whole different way. And I was constantly beating myself up, and I didn't grow that period. I think I grew so much more the years after than in that little time when I was struggling with it. So yeah, I would say that's an important message for all athletes. And I'm really thankful I got out of it, because it was really dark on that side. What about you?
I think my side was also very painful.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was the same for you, but I think for me, the main thing why it started, I think it was my family. I don't want to discourage them or anything, but I want to maybe for others to relate and to admit that it's okay that it was my family. It was very painful, but as I told you before, I was bulimic for 6 or 7 years. And to me, that label was so painful when I first heard about it. I think I was just going on a bus, and I was watching some kind of video and someone talking about it, and it was probably the first time I heard about this label. I never heard about it before.
You didn't know it was a sickness.
And I was crying my eyes out, and I was like, whoa, this feels like me. And it was very scary, and I felt like it will be the moment, turning moment, but it wasn't yet. It was still few years till I managed it, but I think it was very interesting to manage it for myself. I didn't get help. I was thinking about it, but I was so embarrassed. I went to dietitians because my family thought I'm too fat or something, I went to those, and every time I felt so bad because I felt like I need some professional help, mental help, and I was too embarrassed for others to know about it. And basically I just tried to do it by myself, which I think was the best thing I did. Like, I'm not saying that the help wouldn't have been nice, but like even now, I think I had 2 sessions with a mental coach. It was my first time, and he's like a sports mental coach.
Yeah, nice.
And I told him about that I try to solve my psychological issues with ChatGPT. And I told him how I go through the process, and he was like, "Don't you think that it's like avoiding like your true feelings and like running away from it?"
Okay.
And I was like, it is so interesting because how I dealt with this disease, or how you call it, we didn't have ChatGPT or anything. And I just had to analyze in my head, habit after habit, thought after thought, emotion after emotion, like how I felt and how deeply it sat.
Yeah.
And it's like one thing is eliminating the habits. Like I started with, let's say, every time I eat and I get a bad thought, I stop. I need to walk away. It's like, it was the first one to start.
Yeah.
And it was, I eat 3 bites, I get a thought, I leave.
Yeah.
And it's like some kind of conditioning that I do.
Yeah.
That I did until it changed. And then I was like, okay, next habit. And it took so many years to get out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't think about it at all anymore.
That's nice.
Yeah, and when I get a thought, like once in 3 or 4 months, about it, not while I'm eating or anything, just like a memory, I'm like, wow, it's so insane that I don't have to think about it or think about food in a negative way. Or
such a different feeling.
Yeah.
I agree.
And actually, when I started feeling better and when I thought like I have a handle of this thing that I fear so much, I got this butterfly tattoo.
Yeah, the one you have here?
Yeah, because I always felt like I was pretty inside, like I always nurtured my psychology, my thoughts, whatever.
Yeah.
But I never tried to look very pretty, and also I didn't think I am. So I just got a butterfly, something that I think is insanely gorgeous outside. And I was like, okay, this is like epitome of beauty for me. And I think it's probably the only tattoo that you can see. Like, I think I have 2 here, 1 here, 1 here, and you can't really see them. They're pretty small, but this one is just like there, and it's proud, and it makes me happy every time I see it.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, and every time someone comments on it, like, oh, it's pretty, I'm like,
yes, it is.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, but you are also wanted to stop. Like, I also think you are very pretty.
Oh, thanks.
But I also like the idea of like, can we be pretty souls? Like, can it be more about that than we were just born? Like, you can't do anything about your mom and dad's DNA creating whatever. Like, that's just how we are. But we can nurture our soul.
Yeah,
but
I think also people feel the energy you exude, and I never exuded this. I'm not saying that other people didn't say I'm pretty, but I think I never exuded this self-love or care. And I think it also caused other people to comment more, because sometimes I share with friends that how many comments I get about, I don't know, like my weight or how I look or whatever, like even from homeless people. And I feel like I attracted this energy.
Like negative comments or
negative
positive?
Comments. Yes.
Crazy.
I think I was just a bubble that attracted all these things. And now that I, like, as I said, like I changed my feeling, my mind, everything, I feel so much love for myself. I think I attract positive comments, which is so nice, because I feel like it's not like when they say I'm pretty, I feel like, oh yeah, thank you. It feels deserved. I feel like I worked through it, and this is like how I present myself.
Yeah, that's a really interesting aspect of it. I think for me it was never the outside who told me. It was only myself, and I think that's maybe why it was a little bit easier to get out of it as well, because luckily I didn't have a coach or a family or a friend or a homeless person like tell me any comments. Like, I didn't get that, and I think that also comes back to being aware of what you say and what you do matters, because maybe like people in general don't stand up again. Like, you don't take the fight with the friend who commented it. Like, it's not like we don't take the fight. We maybe take the fight later on if it's family or if it's your boyfriend. Like, those people we maybe do it. And to be aware, but still it's such a scar, and it's like for some reason we think it's true just because someone said something, and like, oh, if they think it, it must be true. And I think that's why it can be so dangerous with these toxic environments or these toxic comments, which is why I think it's so important to value your words and your actions. And I really like it I'm really impressed by how you managed to get out of it when it comes from the outer world. That's a harder burden than
I think it's, as I said, like the fact that I attracted these kind of people, and I still do, but in a different way. Like even now, like last year, one of the more recent comments were like, "Oh, you lost a lot of weight. Like you look so pretty now." And it's a positive comment that has underlined that idea, but it's so interesting because I like talk to my friends and I ask them, do people comment on your weight, on your looks? And they're like, no, never. And I'm not sure whether it's in my nature to pay attention to it more, just because
that
it's
makes sense.
like it took so much of my life, but at the same time I get so many comments like that, and I admire that you like get to, I don't know, like not necessarily stand for your opinion, but like you feel so confident if you don't like someone saying,
knock you off by getting,
and I think I'm the opposite. Like I get very injured by those comments. Not anymore, that like because I had to fight through it for so many years, but at the same time, if I feel like the comment was negative and I don't like it, as I said, I eliminate myself from that situation or from that person, which might in some cases be bad because maybe that person is worth fighting for. Maybe he doesn't know better. But I just
and you're not always responsible for other people's actions. That's also a truth out there. But I think the most difficult thing, it's not a guaranteed plus to always not necessarily take the fight, but to talk it out. Like, it's hard, it's hard to do that consistently as much. And I don't think you should either with everyone. Like, sometimes it's okay, I notice your approach, and I'm not gonna let it ruin my day. But I do want to say on that note, I don't know if you meant it like that, but as if I don't get affected by comments, because I really do care, although I'm feeling confident in myself and my beliefs. I'm very scared of, I get very stressed when there's an unresolved thing where I feel as if I'm being portrayed or misunderstood. I'm so stressed about those things, and that's a pretty common outcome when you go for the fight, because the general feeling when you enter, or maybe the majority is, I think it's more common to retract than to approach. And when I approach, maybe a lot of the people that I approached felt like they don't want that, and that leaves me a little bit like, hey, I'm not terrible just because I want to address something, and this has caused me a lot of stress with the way I am, I guess, that I think it's a good thing to be able to approach it in good belief and in confidence, but you don't always get heard or understood, and I struggle with that when people don't see what I see. Um, yeah, especially on the bigger value perspectives. I can let it go if you don't agree with me that climate change is then I'm like, okay, we're in different mindsets. Let's leave it at that. No point in pursuing this. But yeah, if it goes to my character, it's very painful, I think. If I feel like they think I'm evil.
But I think it's human, you know?
Yes, it definitely is.
And I think also like talking about some issues or something that we have a problem with, it makes others feel more human. Yeah. Because as like you said, like maybe I misunderstood, but I said like, oh, you're so confident, whatever. But it makes me feel better that I'm not alone, you know, that I get affected by these comments and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's natural. But I agree, I think it's a good initiative to talk about it. Because even when we talk about it, I feel so conscious about like not mentioning specific, because I want, out of respect for those who are on the other side or whatever things I've been through. Like again, words matter, and I want to be respectful. And it's scary to put it out on the open stage. Even just when I talk about my political view, I always think about this is going to be saved and posted somewhere, which might make me not get an approved visa in the future for playing, because I'm opposed to Trump's war. Like, that's how it is.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, I like in my gut, like my first thought is fear. Like I shouldn't talk openly about it, but my gut tells me if we stop talking about it, it's not going to be better. I think this is a great initiative, and I'm very not thankful, but I am thankful, but like honored to be a guest.
Oh, thank you.
Really nice.
And talking about your values and combining it with volleyball, is there anything you would like to change in the sport? Not necessarily technical, or maybe technical, or something.
Well, technically, I think that we shouldn't be that strict on the setting rules. Now it's getting slightly better, but or not better, but I think for the sake of the sport, it's not an advantage to do a double.
Yeah.
And it ruins a lot of plays when you just stop. Like, it's this fear element, and I think it would be nice if everyone just sat with their fingers. I think their rallies would be more impressive, and the people watching it who's not that deep into it would not see the difference between a slight double and not. So I think that's positive that we're not that strict on the doubles anymore. On the lifts, though, I think we should be strict, because it's a huge advantage to lift the ball compared to not, like in terms of control. So I guess those are technical things that I approve. And change for the sport, I think I really love the sport. I think it's more I would change. I think when you give someone critique, it's important to not just critique, but give a solution as well. And my critique is that the FIVB is not running a successful product. And I don't know these people, and I'm sure they're working very hard to try and fix it. But I also think and that goes to every organization, especially sports organizations, that I think they should value the player's opinion. Because without us, there's no product. And I feel like a lot of organizations just stepping over that that step. And I think to make an example of a successful organization is King of the Court, where we might not always agree on how they do things or what they choose to do, but we're always included in the conversation. And this is, for me, a really well and good way to run any business. And I think I have a lot of respect for that, and I feel so included and so valued as a player. And I think in general the whole product gets better when those on the ground have the same or more value than like that we're respected in that sense. And I think that's amazing. And I think they also must have some success with business, because it's not all about the technical sport thing. It's also a lot about a business, running a profitable business model. And business, from what I learned from my business boyfriend, is that it's a lot about being a good person and not just being, I want more. And I feel like this is the attitude that the vibe that I'm getting from the FIVB. It's like, you guys will have less and we want more, rather than the feeling I have with King of the Court, where it's the other way around. Like, hey, we want you to succeed. How can we make it work? This is a problem we have. We're trying to fix it. What is your opinion on it? Like, we apologize. This and this didn't go as planned. Like, we're so inclusive, and it's creating a whole different vibe and product in general. I think it's some thoughts to the FIVB right there. Yeah, and other organizations and volleyball federations.
Do you think you would be in the future, in the far future, willing to join one of those organizations to help?
No, I think I King of the Court, yeah, because of the way they treat people. And I don't want to say, again, I don't know for sure that everything's terrible with FIVB or other, like, that's not my point, but I think some experiences has drawn me to that general feeling, and a lot of the players is feeling this way, I know. But I wish I would, but I don't think I will. I think I would like to release myself from those issues and pursue something else that would make I don't know. I think that's at least the main idea I have right now. That I'm very lucky to have beach volleyball in my life and to be impacted and make an impact. I'm really thankful for this opportunity here and now. But I think me as an individual can do so much more for so many others, and that it's also, when the day comes that I don't want or will not play professionally anymore, I think I would all like to give a lot of this that I'm giving to some other causes that I find more important, like my boyfriend, my family, and the world situation. Yeah, something to maybe something to the direction of my degree with the world peace. That's where I think I'll go.
I think it's very reasonable.
Yeah,
because I think I also witnessed how it worked with Lithuanian Federation because of my dad.
Yeah,
because he was
a player
and then became a president and then vice president. And I know how things work, and I definitely don't want to join.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I feel like we talk so much about how things have to change, and I think people that are ready to sacrifice should make that sacrifice, but there aren't that many, like even I know that there are so many issues, but I'm not willing to sacrifice to fix them. And that's the worst part.
It's difficult. I think also we need to collectively sacrifice and not individually. That's also a big problem, but encouraged to see, to some degree, a unification of the players trying to pursue the problems in good faith together. I'm hopeful of this, and I see some individuals like Anok and Sue and people that take the leading role, and I think for those who, I think that's great. The Bell brothers, Anders has gotten more on the court now. I appreciate this, and I think I don't want to put myself out of it. Like, I think I also can contribute and will do my best to contribute, but I think it's very important that the best of the best contribute. They are our leaders. You should lead. You really should, because if you think it's hard to, even in the main draw, in the elite, and you have a full, not a salary, that's not what I'm saying, but like, you all know it's way worse when you're in qualification, and your voice is just more powerful. That's the basic. That's true. I think I'm really hopeful, and I think it can work with the voices we have going on now. And I would really like to lift that up. I think there is hope, but I agree with you that I'm not sure if one individual on the in the challenger in the future will be the flipping stone. Unfortunately, I think it needs to happen collectively.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope that it will. Well, thank you so much for sharing so much of your personal life with me.
Thank you for asking and bringing a safe space. I'm really thankful for that. Yeah. It's special. You have a good aura.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's not that common.
I
to
hope
feel that welcome and safe. It's a good trait. Now you're attracting good energy.
Oh, yes. It's all you.
Yeah.